Hi, this is Miss Ann for Tween and Teen Cooking. I thought it would be fun to make a gelatin poke cake. They're also called Jello poke cakes. What you're going to need is a box of white cake mix. It doesn't matter what brand. Strawberry Jello. It still doesn't matter what brand. And then a container of Cool Whip, and this is an off-brand. So what you're going to do first is follow the instructions on the back of your box. We're going to make a 9 by 13 cake, so go ahead and mix that up. I have the cake batter all mixed. I followed the instructions on the back of the box. So I'm using a 9 by 13 glass baking pan. I sprayed it with nonstick spray before I put the cake batter in the pan. So you need to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. My oven's preheated. And we want the instructions, baking instructions for a 13 by 9, which it says 34 to 38 minutes. And you need to use a toothpick to insert in the center. And if it comes out clean, the cake is done. And then we're going to cool it for about 15 minutes. I'm going to put it on a cooling rack. So go ahead and put it in the oven. So the cake is baked. My oven required the 38 minutes of baking time. So when the cake was cooling, I went ahead and started my tea kettle. And for the Jello recipe, you need the 3-ounce box of strawberry Jello to a cup of boiling water. You stir it up real good till the Jello's all dissolved. And then you add a half a cup of cold water to it. And then you take a fork to the cake and you want to stick it in the cake. You can see how I staggered them. They need to be at least a ½ inch apart, because if they're not, your cake is not going to have a pretty pattern with the Jello that we're going to pour in there. So it took about 3 minutes total in time for the Jello to dissolve, and then adding the cold water to cool it off. So what you want to do is go ahead and pour your Jello real slow over your cake. Takes a little time for the cake to absorb it. Make sure you get the whole cake here. I'm dribbling it on the stove a little bit. So your cake is like a sponge and it's soaking it right up. And you're going to want to use all of the liquid. Where my cake is covered, there's a few spots. Okay, there we go. So the next step is you're going to cover it and refrigerate it for 3 hours and let it set. So I just took my gelatin poke cake out of the refrigerator, and make sure that it sits at least 3 hours. And this is the next afternoon, so we are ready to go ahead and spread our Cool Whip on top of the poke cake. And once you're done with that, you want to refrigerate it for another hour. So I went ahead and put the Cool Whip on my gelatin poke cake. I cut a slice out so you can see how pretty it is. It's marble looking. And there's the slice. You can find several different recipes on, if you Google Jello poke cakes or gelatin poke cakes. There are even ones that you can use for Memorial Day, 4th of July, that you put red and blue Jello in it. This is a great spring and summer dessert. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.